So my next question is, you mentioned having preeclampsia that turned into HELLP syndrome, which was a result of the high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So what advice would you have for expecting mothers, one that might be on here or that we'll watch later, about like taking care of your blood pressure and the questions that they might need to ask the doctors and stuff like that?
So what I was thinking long and hard about that. Like, I don't want to beat people over the head about you need to eat better and just try to be a dictator over how you consume your food and things like that. But the biggest piece of advice that I could give for moms, expecting moms, is just to educate yourself and advocate for yourself. Like, those are two of the most important things that you can do, because, you know, at the end of the day, the truth be told, you could be the healthiest person in the world. Look at Venus, right? Was it Venus? Serena that had the baby. You know, like, you could be the
And then
healthiest
Beyonce
person.
too?
Serena had, I don't think it was preeclampsia, but I think that she had like blood clots or something, and she almost died giving birth. And so it's like, you could be the healthiest person ever and still experience some adverse effect of pregnancy. So I can't just beat over the head like you need to eat good and you need to do this and do that. You know, because yeah, it's practical, but at the same time, that's not going to keep you from experiencing something severe. So my main thing is just to educate yourself, ask questions, be an advocate for yourself, because that's one thing that I learned, is that, you know, sometimes the doctors don't tell you everything. Sometimes they don't know everything. So it's kind of like, even when I was pregnant, I seen like a little small blurb about high blood pressure in one of the packets they gave me. They didn't even talk to me about it. I just seen it like in the packet.
So you didn't know you had high blood pressure?
I didn't have high blood pressure. So let me just clarify real quick. I never had high blood pressure in my life. I've never been sick. I've never been in a hospital, nothing. My entire life, my entire pregnancy was perfect until that one day where my blood pressure just went up out of the blue. So, and I said it's important to know that, just because I had a doctor's appointment, I want to say 3 days before I had to go to the hospital for the high blood pressure. And 3 days before, you know, when you're pregnant, they check your urine, they check your blood pressure every time you go. I was completely fine. I didn't have high blood pressure.
So it just happened like that?
So it just happened literally out of the blue. And so I started experiencing like some like bloating in my stomach. Like it felt like bloating, but people say when you going in labor, sometimes it feel like you gassy. So I thought, as a first time mom, that that I was just going in labor. I didn't know. And so I called my midwife, and she said, well, you know, you only 37 weeks. Just come in, and, you know, if you're just comfortable coming in, just come on in and we'll make sure nothing is wrong and we'll send you home. So, me being me, that's another thing. Like, we just have to know our bodies. For me, I knew that that wasn't normal. Like, I'm like, I've never been bloated my whole pregnancy. I probably had morning sickness like one time. So I had a fairly normal pregnancy. I didn't experience anything bad my entire pregnancy. So for me, it was like, let me go get checked out, because this doesn't feel
doesn't feel right.
Exactly. And
we know our bodies.
Yeah, exactly. So we need to know our bodies, and just really listen to our instinct. Because, you know, I could have just laid back down and say, oh, well, I'll just deal with it tomorrow, or I'll wait to see if it go away. But I really felt like, nah, let me just go in. Exactly. And so I did go in, and when they checked my blood pressure, it was extremely high. And as soon as she checked my blood pressure, I had a seizure. And so, you know, like I said, my biggest piece of advice is just, we have to advocate for ourselves. Because again, if I would have listened to the midwife, she told me, like, I don't see a need for you to come in, but if you want to, you can.
Oh, you would have been.
That was her advice to me. So if I would have just listened to her and not just listen to my gut, it would have been like, I could have been home dead. You know, I could have had a seizure in the bed. Anything could have happened. So, you know, we have to just be our own biggest advocates. When, you know, we know something is not right, or we feel like something is not right, go get checked out. And it's okay. You got insurance or whatever the case is.
That's what it's for.
And that's what it's for. So don't feel bad or like you bothering somebody, or you know, inconveniencing something. No, you need to just go get checked out, listen to your gut instinct, and
Right.
ask questions. You know, if you don't feel right about something or you don't understand something, ask questions. And I see a lot of people now, they know about preeclampsia. Your doctor may never mention it to you, so you ask them, what do you know
And
about,
honestly, you're
especially,
the only reason that I know about it. I
see,
had never heard
uh-huh,
of it in my life until it happened with you. Never.
yep, yep. And that's like, you know, so that's my biggest piece of advice. It's like, you know, just educate yourself. Talk to women who had kids. Like for me, I never knew anybody who had preeclampsia because nobody talked about it. It was just
Right.
like, and even after I had it, a lot of women will say, yeah, I had it, but basically it was nothing. Like I had my baby and I moved on. It was just like, it
Right.
was not a big deal. But what I recognize too is that we also have to understand like the long-term ramifications of it. So yeah, you may not be experiencing nothing now, but we don't know that or a lot of people don't know that if you experience preeclampsia, you 4 times more likely to have high blood pressure or heart disease in the
Come on,
future.
girl, with the facts.
So, you know, like that's important to know because you could be,
Mm-hmm.
you had your child at 20 years old, but then here you are 40 years old with high blood pressure and you don't know
Right.
why.
Right.
So it's important, you know, like I said, we just educate ourselves. It's not to scare people. Like, that's the last thing. Like, I don't want people to be scared. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want people to feel like, you know,
I'm never having
I don't want
kids.
to have no kids. Like I just want people to be aware. Like just be aware and ask questions. Know your family history. That's important. Like
That is very important.
that's
That is
important. You
important.
know, like do your parents have these issues or had your grandparents had these issues? Like these are things that's important to know. Do your baby daddy people have these issues? Like or husband, sorry, I don't want to sound too
What we got you right.
so
Let's
yeah,
be
you know.
politically correct for the bourgeoisie.
For the book, yeah, right. So, you know, these things are important to know. Don't exclude your kid's dad because his family history matter too.
Right.
So these are things that we need to understand and we know. I mean, and this is a part of basic family planning. This is what I learned, and this is what I learned through my own mistakes. Like I wasn't worried about that when I
Right.
grew
Right.
up.
Right.
I was just in love, like hey. But
Right.
now it's like you really have to be cautious of just the choices that you make. And so these things are important. Educate yourself, ask questions, advocate for yourself. You're your own best advocate, I'm telling you, because at the end of the day, the doctors can only do so much. You know what I'm saying? So if you know and you come in, it should be a team effort. It shouldn't be the doctor just dictating what's going to happen or how you're going to do things. It should be a team effort. No, this is not what I want to do. Let's try it this way.
Right.
Or, I read up on this. Can you explain it? Let's look into it. Like these are they working for you. So we have to really just take a more active role in our health and our healthcare, and that's the biggest advice I could give. I mean, like I said, I could say all day, drink juice and eat your vegetables and all of that, but at the end of the day, it could still happen. If you're not educated, you're just not educated on it.
Right.
So once you know, you can make better decisions,
Going forward, yes. I
Y'all
do want
share
to
the live, okay?
I
Share the
want to
live with
speak
y'all people.
to, yes, please share the live once again. I am Samantha. I am the CEO of Buy Melanin. This is Fatia. She is the owner and CEO of the, about to call it the Juice Define. Juice Define. We are talking about her successes and failures and her story. Please make sure that you guys hit that little share button and share it to your friends. I do want to speak to educate or your family history, because
Wait,
something
hold on,
happened.
Sam.
Hmm?
Real quick, before you say that, because I just read what Danielle said about exactly and move around until you find a doctor you're comfortable with. Yes,
Okay.
because let me tell y'all, before I was with the midwife that I was with, I was with a regular normal OB practice that they was just a regular OB practice. They didn't have midwives. They just had regular OBs. And I was with them, and from day one, I didn't feel comfortable with them. Like I had already knew in my mind that I wanted a natural water birth, and I didn't want to take no meds. That was my birthing plan.
Mm-hmm.
And they
That was
Look,
your birthing plan? And
that
how
was my
old?
original birthing plan.
How
Yes.
old were you?
I was
Wow.
what, 25, I think. I was 25,
Okay.
26. So that was my original birthing plan. And I knew immediately when I was with that doctor's office, that first doctor's office, that they was not going to be able to really accommodate me the way that I felt comfortable. And that's when I switched to the practice that I did. They had a combination of midwives and doctors. So yes, that's important. Move around till you find somebody you're
I'm like that
comfortable.
now. Yeah.
Yeah,
If I don't feel
exactly.
right, I'm
So,
gonna move up, move, keep it
hmm
moving.
and
Keep
don't
it
be
moving.
scared to do it. And don't wait too late. Don't wait till they do something wrong or something happens. Just if you know that these people can't accommodate your needs, move around to the next doctor until
Right.
you find somebody else who can accommodate you. So I
And
just
it's
wanted to put that out
important to
there.
feel comfortable with someone that is going to be that close to you for the next 9 months, or how
Mhm.
y'all say you're pregnant for 10 months, whatever. But
I didn't know
for
that
somebody,
I
you
got
want
pregnant.
to feel comfortable in that sense, you
Yeah.
know. And
Hmm.
I wanted to speak to knowing your family history. Something happened to me health wise recently, and a lot of things have come up. And I'm in the doctor's office. When I go to fill out information, a lot of the stuff I'm checking, no, no, no. And I talked to my mom not too long ago, and she was like, "Oh yeah, because her mom, referring to her mom, had such and such, and daddy had such and such, and I have diabetes." What?
Oh wow.
No clue. And so I'm telling my new doctor that no, I have no history of no high blood pressure
Oh
in
wow.
my immediate family,
Hmm.
no diabetes whole time. This is the case. So it's so important to talk to your parents.
Yep.
And for it, you know what? And sometimes I won't say it's because our generation, we feel a lot more comfortable with talking to our parents, with asking questions. I think
Hmm.
sometimes it's them. They are
Oh
not
yeah.
as like, they don't really share things like
Hmm.
that going on with their health. So if you are a parent, an older parent in this chat, please, it's so important for your children who are adults
Yeah.
to know their family history so that we can make better decisions.
Yep.
I
That's
mean,
so
not that
true.
our decision should be bad based on medical history, but still, if I know that, okay, this is something that runs heavily in my family, maybe I shouldn't do this,
Yep.
or maybe. So anyway, enough
No,
about
that's
the
true.
seriousness.
No, but also that's a good point because it could be something small. Like a lot of people will talk about like sickle cell. Like I have the
Right,
trait. And
right.
I knew I had the trait, but it was important to me that his dad didn't have the trait because that
And see,
would have had,
yeah,
and I've seen like the ramifications of sickle cell. So it's
me
kind of
too.
like you just want to be mindful and aware. It's not that you scared or anything like that, but just the more knowledge you have, the better. That's with anything. You just want to be knowledgeable.
Right.
Danielle
Okay.
said you gotta damn near beg and trick them to talk.
Listen, that is how my mom is. And it's like she get angry when you start asking questions. I'm like, I want to be okay. Like, can you please just share this little bit of information with me?
Exactly. You just want to
Like,
know.
I don't know what it is about the parents of our generation,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just strange. They don't really
I
like to talk
know.
about medical history.
Mm-hmm.
But moving along. So I saw that you have some really notable people that have tried your juices. I saw on your story Brian McKinney, who is a former NFL. He played with the Dolphins, right? I believe.
He played. No, I think. Oh, don't ask me. I'm not a sports person, so
Me
I wouldn't
neither.
know
Me
exactly
neither.
what team he played for.
If y'all know what team Brian McKinney played for, put it in the comments because we don't know. But
Sorry,
he
Brian,
was
if you're
in
watching this live.
right. Former NFL player Brian McKinney. I saw in your story that he purchased some.
Mm-hmm.
I saw in his story too. And the Breakfast Club. So tell me,
The
how does that
Breakfast Club,
feel?
yes. So I feel excited because to me, I feel like, when you work hard to try to build something, um, it's important that it grows. So for me, I just saw it as an opportunity for growth because I get
Mm-hmm.
exposed to more people.
Yeah,
And
his
believe it or
network, their
not,
networks. Mm-hmm.
yep, exactly. More networks. And then it's like, believe it or not, when people see that, it's kind of like you get more of a stamp of legitimacy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
If that makes
Well,
sense. It's
that's
like,
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so to me, I'm excited because I feel, that kind of let me know that everybody need what I have. It's not like something that's just geared towards like young people or old people or people, like anybody can use what I have and see benefits from it. And so that was really good. Like I felt good because even like I say, when Brian did it, I appreciate him for even, because he works out a lot. So for him to even incorporate juices from Juice to Fine into whatever it is he's already doing in his regimen, like to me, I feel like that's like, it just kind of humbles me and make me feel amazing because I'm like, dang, like, okay, keep doing what you're doing because somebody's seeing you or somebody watching. So that was big. And then the Breakfast Club, obviously, like that's like, oh my God, that's a huge platform. So to be able to even, share my juices with them, or for them to even know Juice to Fine name or say Juice to Fine name.
And they mentioned it on the show.
And they mentioned it on the show. So for me, I was like, for a couple of days, I was stuck, like, oh my God. But, it was a big thing. But I'm just grateful because I feel like, in some way, in a weird way in my mind, I feel like once I'm kicking the door open for all of us. It's not just me. It's like y'all part of my team. So if I'm in there, then y'all in there.
And that's how I feel. Look, listen, we got this hook up. This is where we're going. Exactly. This is what we're doing.
Exactly. So that is like, it's big. Like I don't want to place so much emphasis on celebrity, but at the end of the day, I recognize
they have a larger platform.
It's a lot, right? I recognize what they could provide for me as a small business owner. So to me, it was a good moment. Like I felt like, yes,
right.
Yes. So I'm happy.
And I also want to speak to how important it is to have the right people in your circle, specifically in your business circle. You want people that want to pour into your business and want to see you succeed. We're not going to talk about who we don't want, but we're going to talk about what we do want. We want people to pour into us. We want people that, if they know about something, it's like, listen, this event is going on this day. Let's all go, or your business should go. This is going on here. And like in our group chat, a lot of the times, it's with Tia and Vernon and Danielle and we're constantly giving each other, different events or different things that we can get into to forward our businesses. And these are the types of people that you need in your circle, period. Like,
for sure.
Period.
Yep. And we support each other, and that's important because again, building a small business is hard.
It is hard.
So, when you have a lot of people don't understand the lifestyle of an entrepreneur, so to speak. So it's kind of like it's a lot of ups, but it's also a lot of downs. And so if you don't have like the right people around you that's like pouring into you, helping, assisting, or giving you feedback or ideas on how to be better, it could be really hard. It could be really hard. So that, it's a great thing. Like, and even too, what you saying with Buy Melanin, like to me, like that's the perfect platform to be able to offer that support to small businesses, because truth be told, like the world is so big, like we don't have that many support systems out there to really help. There go Brian, he logged on. Hey Brian.
We were trying to figure out, us non-sports people were trying to figure out what teams you play for.
Right, we were trying to figure it out.
We were like, we don't know. He just
So yes, we was, so it's important that we have that platform to just encourage each other, and even our supporters, the people that come out to every event, the people that purchase stuff all the time, the people that support you by just sharing a post or whatever, like every little thing helps. And so, it's important to have those kind of people around you that's going to continuously, see the value in what you do and what you bring, and they support that and continue to uplift that. So that is really important.
Okay. So,
he told us the team.
He played for the Minnesota Vikings, Baltimore Ravens, in Miami Dolphins.
Oh,
Okay,
Sam,
yeah.
you said the Dolphins.
I did say the Dolphins now.
Okay, we was almost right.
Right. Okay, so tell me about one of the times you felt like you failed in business, and then I want you to follow up with how one of your successes. We won't have to go too deep, but I mean we can go as deep as you want. But I do want to hear, because some people are watching, and like myself, a lot of us, we get to that point where we're just like, this isn't
Mhm.
going where I wanted to go. It's not going
Mhm.
how I wanted to go. I'm overwhelmed. We all feel like that as business owners. So tell me
Yeah.
about, some of your failures and your biggest success.
Well, this I will say this. Like, I wanted to quit so many times. Like, oh my God, that's an understatement. And I actually did. I'm not gonna say I quit,
You
but
took a
y'all
break.
already know. If y'all
You
been
took a
like
break.
avid supporters of Juice to Find, y'all know I done been on hiatus a couple of times. I literally just came off of a hiatus. I just came back in January from a year-long hiatus. And for me it was time needed because I had a lot going on in my personal life, and then I had a 9 to 5, and then so just juggling life responsibilities, it just became overwhelming. And so in some sense, sometimes I could look at that as a failure, because you already know, like, sometimes business could be hit or miss. Like, you could make one wrong move and it ain't no coming back. So it's like you have to be very careful
Very strategic.
with the failures that you have, because if like I said, one wrong move and sometimes it ain't no coming back from there. So I guess now looking back, I don't necessarily have to call my hiatus a failure. But I can see how that can impact your business, like, a
Right.
lot. If you decide, well, let me step away for a little while, because people forget, if we live in like a microwave society. So if you step off for 2 weeks, they gonna forget your name. They don't know who you
Who
is
is
no
Buy
more.
Melanin? Who is
Another
Buy
company
Melanin?
that came along.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like I was scared to do that, because I was like, I literally may not be able to recuperate if I took the time off and I came back. But thankfully, again, like, I just appreciate all the supporters that believe in what I do, because I came back better than I was when I left. So to me,
Right.
that was like,
Yeah, you
I
hit
was
the
so
ground
grateful
running.
for that. Yes, I was committed this time. It's like, because I try to reinvent myself all the time. Like, I want to make sure that I'm providing good customer service. Like, that's number one. I
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure that I'm providing something of value that people they're gonna enjoy and benefit from. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Brian said, I don't see any of that as a failure. They were all lessons. When you decide to give up, that is the real failure. Oh yeah,
That's a
that's the
word.
word right there, for
That's a
real.
word.
That's true. That's true. And it was a lesson, because I was able to kind of sit back and really gather myself, where I really wanted to go, how much energy I was willing to put into it. Like, I no longer work a 9 to 5. So for
Yeah.
me, this is it. This is me putting 100% into what I do. And so, it was just an opportunity, like Brian said, it was a lesson to just learn, what to do